From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
It seems so long, the moments that stay, they turn out all wrong. When I look around, you're
It's Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studio on the ones and twos, our illustrious engineer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Gatorland, Florida, Eddie Big Cat Koffoltz.
Yes, nice to see you. Hello.
Eddie sounds like he's starting like an NPR jazz show.
Just warming up into it. Warming up.
Keeping it soft and warm in the quiet storm. It's Eddie Big Cat Koffoltz. And
It's
from
big
Nashville,
band night here on the show.
from Nashville, Tennessee, author, speaker, podcaster, cowgirl extraordinaire, Annie F. Downs.
Good morning, gents. Cameron, you're so giggly. I'm terrified.
The band is back together. I'm very excited. Hey, before we get going, I want to tell you that today's show is brought to you by Prison Fellowship. We're more than our past mistakes. We are made in God's image, and we each have a future. But for men and women who live in the shadow of a criminal record, a second chance can be hard to come by. For approximately 1 in 3 American adults with a criminal record, legal obstacles hinder their progress even after they've paid their debt to society. On top of widespread social stigma, former convicts face as many as 44,000 documented restrictions that limit their access to education, jobs, housing, voting, and more. That's why this April, Prison Fellowship is celebrating Second Chance Month with more than 275 partner organizations nationwide. Join Prison Fellowship for this nationwide movement to break down barriers and unlock second chances. Together, we can change the lives of approximately 70 million men and women who dream of a better future. Learn more at prisonfellowship.org/second chances. Awesome organization.
Yeah, what a great cause.
Yeah.
No kidding.
We have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, comedian Nate Bargatze joins us. He talks about his new comedy special, The Tennessee Kid, that's taking over Netflix right now. He talks about his faith, growing up in the church, and how Netflix has changed his career. That's coming up later. Very excited about Nate Bargatze. But today,
Did you say Netflix or relevant?
It is funny. Early on in the interview, he basically, I was going to include the clip, but it would have been a weird humble brag. But he was like, before this Netflix thing, a lot of people who would come to me on shows, he heard me through you guys, and he was very appreciative that
wow.
Cameron and I said this to someone the other day. We're OG Nate Bargatze fans. No big deal, but we saw him years ago at South by, and now look at him. He's got the big Netflix, hour.
I don't know if
Yes.
it's cool. Like, I mean, to say you saw like a band at South by Southwest before they were known and now they're huge. That's one thing. We saw Nate Bargatze at South by Southwest, and now he's huge. I don't know if this is cool as seeing.
It's like when 30
it
played
is.
at my friend Johnny Lee's youth camp.
I grew up with Third Day playing at my youth camp because I go to my church. So that's my whole
Do they?
existence. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yes.
God of wonders beyond our match. He had a lot of gravel. A lot of gravel in that
Yeah.
throat.
Well, they live on that gravel road.
Gravel. Yeah.
Well, they grew up on those dirt roads in rural Georgia, and they just
That's right. You didn't know.
chewing rocks all
Now
the
you
time.
know.
It's still in there. You don't have a radiator on that mouth. It just gets all in there.
He's from the band Third Day, so I doubt he ever smoked. But in that part of the country, you're born with a smoker's throat. It's just
that part of the country where I'm also from. Lord,
Well,
have
listen to
mercy.
you. You also sound like, man, one time I was at SeaWorld and heard Third Day, and they play Third Day in pretty heavy rotation in SeaWorld. And I don't really know how all that's connected, but it just seemed, pertinent to the
Wait,
conversation.
you heard them live? They were at Third Day, or you just heard they were just playing them over the speakers at SeaWorld?
I'll just never get past the way you said live.
Live. I know. She said
What'd I
lav.
say?
Like a lav mic. Like a lavalier mic. You said lav.
Oh, sorry.
Did you see him
And
laugh?
we started. It was just one mention of rural Georgia, and suddenly,
And you lose me.
y'all talking about Georgia again?
Well,
It did come out.
my love for Mac Powell is long documented, so please tell him hi for me.
Yeah.
Today is a very important day. I don't know, Annie and Eddie, if you're aware, but today is April 2nd, which is the day in the year of our Lord that Jesse was born. Today is Jesse's birthday. It's a
Jesse.
big deal.
Basically a national holiday.
It is a national holiday. You would be born right after April Fool's. That makes all
this
the
is
sense
thing.
in the
God
world.
makes no
it.
mistakes. God makes no mistakes except that one. Jesse should have been born on April 1st. He missed it by a day. I don't get it. It's
I will say
unfortunate.
though, your mom probably went into labor on the 1st, so it's sort of like,
joke's
are you
on
for
her,
real?
actually.
Yeah, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Mom.
It does feel like I missed like a date with destiny by missing it by mere hours. You know,
Jesse, do you like your birthday?
do I like
Like,
the
are you
day?
like someone who like? Are you always like, my birthday? It's my birthday.
I
Do you get excited?
forgot it was even coming to the other day. Somebody's like, "Oh, it's what are you doing for your birthday?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." You know, I didn't. I was like, "I don't know. When is my birthday?" I was like, "Oh, I guess I don't know. It's never like a big thing. I mean, we might have plans. I really don't know. I'm like, a birthday gift to me is not having to plan anything for the birthday because that's just going to stress me out. You know,
Right.
Okay, so I thought to help, we have a lot of new listeners. The podcast numbers have been shooting up lately. We don't really know why, but there's a lot of new listeners.
It's probably
And
that Brady Toops episode.
I thought it'd be good for the new listeners. That'd be good for the new listeners to get to know Jesse. And so
great.
before we started recording, I grabbed a few of the table topics cards that we had
this is
purchased a few
great.
years ago. And I thought it'd be good to just lob a few of the table topics to Jesse so
Okay.
we can round out Jesse Carey, the man, the myth, the legend, on the day of his
Yeah.
birth. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Oh, I love it. Let's do it.
Here we go. Just random questions. Jesse, if money were no object, what kind of birthday party would you have? Huh. If money were no object.
Money is no object.
No
No
object.
object.
Okay.
Jet
Well,
skis, fireworks.
Eddie, it's weird you said jet skis because Cameron, when you said money is no object, the first thing that one came into my mind was jet skis.
100%.
Like for
Really?
some reason,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really, really weird that Eddie said that because money is no object. Ding, jet skis. That just pops in my head. I don't know how that translates into a party, but maybe it's like a demolition derby type of situation. You just got all my friends out there in a lake, and we're just ramming each other with jet skis.
Literally, people
money's
would
no
die.
Oh, my
object.
People would
gosh.
die.
You would die quickly. You know that.
very,
don't you?
very quickly.
Yeah.
This is like Suicide Squad. Why would you do that?
Because money's no object, Annie. People
But
can
money's
sue
no
me.
object. It
People
does
can
not
sue me,
equal that
and I
you're
will pay them out. I will pay it out.
undiable.
Money is no object. Or I would hire an entertainer. I would get. Here's what I would do,
Wait.
Cameron. Here's what I would do.
Yeah.
Because I would get David Copperfield
Yeah.
from Vegas. I would bring in David Blaine. I would bring in Chris Angel, and I would have like a magic
no.
competition that we
No, you
could all
can't bring
judge.
No more
love
David
it.
Blaine. We can't. Bad news on David Blaine.
Right.
Oh, no.
He's
you know
out.
what? You're right.
Oh,
He
he's
had-
out.
But I think David Copperfield is still available, and certainly Carrot
For
Top is.
sure he
And
is. Yeah.
Carrot Top, Chris Angel. It would be a lot of entertainers.
Chris
in
Angel's
fact.
I'm
a
so
All
scared of
my
Carrot Top.
Jesse-
Don't bring
Jesse-
Carrot Top.
Jesse, after we saw David Blaine or David
Redemption.
Copperfield in Vegas last summer, I don't know. I don't want to go to
Everyone-
that party.
Everyone deserves redemption. Here, you know what wasn't baffling to me is like magicians at birthday parties stop being cool when you're like 9.
Yeah.
Every adult birthday party should have a magician. Like a lot of times you ever get invited to a birthday thing and you're like, I don't know if I feel like going to, it's a whole thing. If they had a magician, everyone would go. So money's no object. The best magicians in the world are all showing up
On jet skis.
on.
All right.
Where did the
Jet
jet
ski
skis
magic.
come from? Yeah.
Jet ski magic. Okay, next question. What will you be like 10 years from now?
I mean, look at what he's looked like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's all just.
I mean, like I said, with my rock and roll lifestyle, I'll probably be a memorial somewhere.
I mean,
Like
you
a-
have teenagers
a
in 10 years, Jesse. How
people
crazy
just
is
go,
that?
People will just go leave earbuds strung around my memorial, and it's me, like in my final moment on my 36th birthday, jumping to jet ski over David Copperfield. Both of us, unfortunately, didn't make it through that stunt. And
But that's like
10
there's
years
like
from
the
now-
freeze frame in your biography, and that it goes right into that's what's carved into the granite of your tombstone.
It's a statue. It's me flying over the top of a jet ski while ramming David Copperfield, and people just go put roses up there. And it just says 10 years from now at this time. It's quite the day.
It says at the bottom, money was no object, and nobody ever understands it. Like, what does that mean? Why is that guy on a jet ski jumping over that magician? Why does it say money was no object?
Why is this statue of some guy I don't know jumping over who appears to be an aging David Copperfield? And how did they both die during this?
And why are people leaving Nickelback CDs like just everywhere? Like, what is happening? Who was this man? Money was no object.
Next question. Which moment from your life would you choose to relive if you could?
Oh man, if I could relive any moment, this is pretty easy, Annie. You'll appreciate this. It would be the moment that I walked into that gentleman at Elam's college dorm room.
100%.
That day. But then the day that I fell on him, and I would have taken more mental notes because it's been haunting me and the listeners ever since.
I know. When do we get to move forward with our side pod? I'm dying about it, Jesse. Do I get to start bugging you about it again?
Yes, you do, because true crime is having a moment. I would have taken more notes, and I probably would have bought some catcher's gear too, and put it on so that my fall at least would have been somewhat cushioned. It would have been so devastating for me.
Jesse, here on the day of your birth, what percentage of the things you say are BS? That is the question.
Can we all answer that for Jesse?
That should be like a group question.
I think it should be over under about 75, and I think most of you guys are going to unfortunately go over. Eddie, if you've known me a long time, Eddie, where would you put this number?
Are we talking on the show or not on the show?
We're talking, on and off. I think I'm the same person.
It's like
that's not true.
I'm not great at statistics, but I think it's like 80% plus or minus 20%. So that means
based on whether he has a microphone or not.
Well, maybe it's you never know. It kind of depends on where he woke up that morning and if he had burritos. Did he have
where
enough
he
food?
woke up that morning?
No.
Cameron, we've
gone out to life for you, lean bud.
Cameron, I feel like I'm not that different when the microphone's on. I like to.
Yeah, you're not.
I've known you 14 years. I was just recalling to Jess. You were 22 when I met you. You're 36 today, right?
That's right.
So it's been 14 years. I would absolutely say you're the same person on or off.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
The real problem with Jesse is he's almost incapable of it. And he's actually just a really good person. And so you keep trying to poke holes in it.
I'll tell you the off is he asks more questions when he's off.
Yeah.
He listens more than he does on the
other
show.
thing, both on mic and off, I'm a pathological liar. People should know that.
Yeah, that's
People
true. Everywhere you go.
It's pathological.
When he and I hang out, literally, it's just the podcast. I tee him up and he runs with ridiculous stuff the entire time, and I giggle. I mean, that's the entire time hanging out. Over under on BS, I wouldn't say any of it. It's BS.
No,
that would imply lying. I think you're just how much of it is.
No,
I think
it's none.
What it is, it's truth that's a little too hard for some people to hear. And if they're more comfortable interpreting it as BS, I will not cool down these hot takes. I will not do that.
The thing I do think my favorite evolution of the Jesse Carey repertoire in the last few years has been in the last year, and that's the introduction of the hot tub hot take. I really like the post 11 p.m. Jesse Carey hot tub hot take, Jesse.
Yeah, it's people start getting real out there. It's not necessarily politically correct, and I'm very glad those conversations aren't recorded because a lot of fringe political ideas come up. Strong feelings about
Jesse, on April Fools,
celebrities.
did you see all the stuff people said about flat Earth? By the way, that people were selling maps of the flat Earth. It was a brilliant. It was the only thing I liked about April Fools.
Good for them.
It was very funny. I thought of you.
I did not like
should
that
get
day at all. I don't like being tricked. Oh, no.
I don't either. I hate it. Sorry, Cameron. Go ahead with your
I do want to circle back to April Fools after a couple more of these questions.
Okay. Jesse, here on the day of your birth, if you could rename yourself, what name would you choose?
Oh, that's a great one. Jesse, give a real answer. What name would you pick if you couldn't be Jesse?
So what about all those online things of your so-and-so name is the first street you lived on, and the first. So I think there was like I saw one was like it's inappropriate, but what is your like pimp name? It was like the last name is the name of the street you grew up on, and the first name was the name of your first pet. Yeah. Mine would be Caesar Dolomite. That's not bad.
Your first pet was named Dolomite?
No, Caesar, and I lived on Dolomite Street.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was the street first. I was like, what?
Caesar Dolomite.
Also, the fact that the Strangs had a pet named Caesar.
Yeah.
That feels very not Christian enough.
It was, I think it was an acquired, like we took it in. It was a poodle that died in my bedroom by vomiting itself to death in my room.
Oh my God.
Foreshadowing.
So,
I was 5.
My gosh.
I was 5. Vivid memory.
That would make my name Bluebird Spruce. And I'm very comfortable with this name because our first pet was a blue parakeet. And when it was time, when we got him home, it was, we really wanted a pet. And my parents didn't want to do the dog thing because they were a lot of work. And so it was like, all right, we'll warm you guys up with 2 parakeets. And we went to the pet store. And when you're there, the parakeets are awesome. As soon as you get them home and realize they're pretty much just sit there in a cage all day. Like, these parakeets are lame, and we're not even going to the effort to naming them. We just called it Bluebird. And
Bluebird
so
Spruce, dude. I could see it. That's pretty good.
Bluebird Spruce. How you do? How you do?
Caesar Dolomite, Bluebird Spruce, rolling in the joint. I like it.
I would have been Fifth Avenue Beau.
No, other way around.
Beau Fifth Ave.
Beau Fifth Ave, which is actually incredible.
Beau Fifth Avenue is pretty cool.
I feel like we're turning into like an R&B group here. We got Beau Fifth Ave.
I think that's actually
Bluebird
a better
Spruce.
idea than coming up with pimp names. So let's go with an R&B group.
What would your R&B group, your Christian R&B group from the early 90s
It
name
doesn't have
be?
to be Christian. I'm just less pro pimp than the 3 of you.
No.
I don't think so. I just don't think so.
Well,
I would be Sarah Ebenezer, which is so boring.
Oh, and so Christian.
Sarah
Oh
Ebenezer.
my gosh, is it?
You write Amish fiction. That's what you write.
Yeah.
Sarah Ebenezer gazed
Jesse,
across the field
right.
Jesse,
as the barn was being raised.
Today on the day of your birth, Jesse, what's the secret to happiness?
Oh yeah, this I want to hear from you.
Oh boy. Oh man, the secret.
And I'm sure it involves falconry.
Yeah, the secret of happiness is figuring out what you love to do in life and not putting the hard work in to actually do it, just thinking about it a lot, like a career in magic and falconry and stand-up comedy. I do none of these things professionally, and I'm probably much happier for it because I have the luxury of just randomly fantasizing about it. So it's coming up with whatever your dream is and never actually going for it because you can't be disappointed that way. That's the key to happiness.
Never actually going for it.
It's very, very simple. You can't be disappointed if you never try that hard. That's how you end up happy.
Make
Sometimes
that
you
new
just
merch.
speak in t-shirts. Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly right. That's what I thought too,
Well,
Eddie.
it's philosophy.
Jesse, today on the day of your birth, would you live your life any differently? Would you live your life any differently if you didn't care what people thought?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of assumptions in that.
You're assuming I do care. And the answer is I would say this, if we flipped it, if I care what people thought, I'd probably live a lot differently than I do. I probably wouldn't say most of the things I say on this podcast if I really cared what people thought. So,
Jesse, today on the day of your birth, who would you trade places with for 1 month?
That's a weird amount of time.
Yeah. It's like too long for it to just be like a
one day.
a pop in. Yeah, it's a one day in the life of. No, you got to go in for a month.
A whole month. You're going to have to buy groceries as this person.
Right.
yeah, this is tough because like I feel like some people's impulse
Things you think of.
oh man, I got to have chores and errands. Oh man. So
Yeah, you got to go like get a checkup or something. You got like things to do. You got to do
I
shit,
like
you go to
be
the
an actual
doctors.
person.
yeah, like contribute to the IRA and all this.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not, I know there's a couple of people on this podcast who are like space people who'd be like, oh, I traded for the guy up on the internet or woman up in the International Space Station. I think that'd be boring. I wouldn't even do that for a day.
I don't know that I'd want to spend a month up there. That's too long. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're saying.
Actually,
You're saying,
Jesse gets to decide if he'd like to spend a month at
I
outer
get
space.
a month
he can.
as anyone. I get a
No,
month
he
as
was
anyone.
implying that I would want to do an astronaut. And I was like, I don't know. That's a long time.
Sure. Now I'm with you. Sorry.
A month as anyone. I'd probably go. I'd probably go with like Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates, and here's why. I would write a check to the real me as Jeff Bezos, so that when we switch back in a month, I
sure.
have it.
Yeah.
And then I would find hilarious ways to sabotage their fortunes. Like
Yes.
That's like
I would
wishing
make-
for wishes.
I would.
That's exactly right.
I would, as Jeff Bezos, go make the most preposterous investments you could possibly make, and just it's like the Joker. It's like what they say in Batman. Some people just want to watch the world burn, and that's what I would do. I would be Jeff Bezos and just spend the money preposterous. I would buy night vision goggles for everyone in America for no reason. They're just primed to everyone's house. That seems like just like, hey, that was a cool thing Jeff Bezos did. I have no idea why he did it or what we're going to do with these night vision goggles, but hey, that was kind of cool. That's what I would do, you know?
Jesse, today on the day of your birth, what's your most embarrassing phobia?
My most embarrassing phobia is I've really always feared, like, especially if it was my birthday, that I would be put on the spot to answer very difficult questions over and over.
Yeah.
No, I don't really have. I don't know that I have like. I'm not embarrassed of my phobias. I don't
Loving
like.
too much.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
sometimes
working too hard.
Sometimes I work too hard. Sometimes I'm too passionate about making a difference in the world. You know, I think sometimes like my righteousness and how I live my life is intimidating to other Christians. I mean, there's a lot of phobias I have. I feel like sometimes like pastors are very intimidated because they're like, well, he's got such great theological insights and things. It's a big fear. It's a big time thing that I worry about. You know.
All right, last question, then we can talk about April Fool's Day. Jesse, today on the day of your birth, if there's one thing that no one understands about you, what is it?
That no one understands. I feel like to the most part, I'm a pretty much an open book. How about this? I won't say that no one understands, but no one can fully appreciate. How about we do that? Because that's a degree of understanding.
I like the idea of where you're going.
I don't think people understand how good of an athlete I am.
Oh my God.
And I would like to dispel any
the
rumors
dumbest
that
answer.
I couldn't compete at the highest level of anything I put my mind to, and that I chose to do this instead. Like a lot of people just don't, they don't get it.
Are we going back to your 6-month rule or whatever, that like if you try to do anything for 6 months, you become professionally good at it? Or are you saying 30 days or something like
Athletics or
that? Yeah, I know.
anything in
It
general?
was like during the Olympics a few years ago.
Hold on, let me clarify that, because I've said this before and I stand by it. It has to be something that's within like the physical realm of possibility. Like, you know, I'm not going to say I could go learn to pitch 100 miles an hour, right?
Yeah. Or
Like by a
beat
physical
Usain Bolt
limitation.
or something.
But I think if you give me 30 days, I could be on the professional billiard circuit, bowling
totally.
circuit, or dart circuit. For 30 days, if I just woke up in the morning and just bowled all day,
Totally.
at the end of the month, I'm knocking down 300 every time. I'm the
Yeah?
world's best bowler.
Why
Do you know
haven't you
that I
tried to
took
do
that
that?
as my PE in college? We've talked about this.
How'd you
No.
do?
was-
Did you dedicate 15 waking
I was
hours?
very good.
15
Were
hours
you?
a day for 30 straight days.
Yeah, by the end of, when you go 3 times a week for an hour for an entire semester, you get pretty good at bowling.
That's my point, Eddie. If I said to you right now, you can choose bowling or darts, I don't care which one.
Yeah.
And you said you have 30 days and all you have to do is wake up and do that thing. Do you
Yeah.
not think at the end you're at the professional level? I know
Absolutely.
I know myself, and I know I could be pro in either of those.
Absolutely. You just know your physical acumen, and also just how hard can it be?
How hard could it be? Just repeating emotion over and over again.
Maybe it's the wisdom of your old age, but you have narrowed the scope. I think this started during the Olympics, that you're like,
Yes.
if you gave me 30 days, I could be competitive in any of these random events. And you were naming
Right.
everything except basically track and field.
Those three things are not very athletic.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Right.
he was saying it was like, maybe it's the Winter Olympics or
saying-
something. It was like something where he wasn't like going up against Usain Bolt, but he would be an Olympian at
Like curling.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, right.
Got it.
He was like,
Okay. Here's what I thought about this the other day. I actually really thought about this the other day. I heard that air pistols. Okay, this is basically it's a gun like an airsoft gun, right?
Yeah.
Like a BB gun.
You shoot it. You use a BB. It's a BB gun, and it's an Olympic event. Like you go and you shoot BB guns at targets, right?
Yeah.
I actually thought about like how cool would it be just to go to the Olympics, stay in the athletes' village, go do the big parade, in Beijing or whatever. You got those cool, Ralph Lauren, USA berets on. You're marching down there with the dream team, the whole deal. No one cares that you're the air pistol guy. No one cares. At that moment, you're an Olympic athlete. No one cares or knows that you're there. Like I said, you're wearing that sweet same polo that LeBron's got on. Yeah. Okay. With the American flag. You're waving to everybody. No one knows that you're the BB gun guy. I feel like medal.
I feel like the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs or wherever it is has like a sign up sheet, like after school clubs, at a school where you could just go like all the random Olympic events, go like, I'll sign up for that one. And then they'll put you through the training and then you're an Olympian, go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah. We need a BB gun guy. We have no representation.
Nobody signed up for BB guns. You're a shoo-in.
The last BB gun person just retired because it's super boring and dumb. And so we need a new BB gun person. Yeah. I read an interview with a guy the other day, and he is now like a professional shuffleboard player. This is how he makes his living. So shuffleboard, like the game they play on cruise ships, you have the stick with the little magnet looking thing at the end, and you push the little puck down the hopscotch board and try to score points. Okay. You guys know the game.
Yeah. That's trolling. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So this guy is in his 20s, and he is now one of the top-ranked shuffleboard players in the world. And he just randomly picked it up and decided, I'm going to be a professional shuffleboard player. He's like, I can either go work a real job or I can learn this game and become a pro. Because what he found out is most of the people who are pros are elderly. The tournaments for them, what's that big like old folks community in Florida?
The Villages.
The Villages.
Boca Raton is what I want to say.
The Villages. No? The Villages host. The Villages host like the Super Bowl of shuffleboard. And like this guy's out there. Guy's out there. And everyone who's like a pro shuffleboard player is like way over 60 because it's not really that serious. And he's out there dominating. He's using his, and I respect that guy. That's what I want to bring to the BB gun world. And he's making, not only that, he's making a living. When you go win a big tourney at the Villages, that's like 10 grand or something. And he's just out there dominating these old people.
So he's like a pool hustler. He's going around to all the old folks' homes, signing up for the shuffleboard tournament and taking home all the money.
It just so happens that's where the pro tournaments are hosted at high-end senior assisted living facilities. So.
Well, Jesse, next time you're down and we're doing hot tub hot takes, I just got some BB guns for the backyard and some targets.
Why?
Perfect.
Just because it's a backyard.
Funsies?
Because it's a backyard, and we set up targets, and I was teaching Cohen
Guys,
how
I've
to
never
shoot
had
BB
brothers.
guns.
Don't be so angry with me. I'm just
But you live in
curious.
Georgia.
Have you not seen Home Alone? Have you not seen
I
Home
know.
Alone?
Every little boy needs to know how to shoot a BB gun.
This is home
Were you
security.
to be left by your family?
This is home security 101. You trick the burglar to sticking his entire face through the doggy door.
I just didn't know if you had some sort of animal that you wanted to scatter away from you, Cameron. That was my
Oh, no.
thought.
We're just shooting
Neighbors.
targets in the backyard. So Jesse, next time we're out in the hot tub, you can start honing your BB gun skills.
Good, because I don't plan on starting actual training until just before the Olympics, and I think that'll do.
That'll do just fine.
Oh, man. All right. Well, happy birthday, man. 36
Thank you.
years on this earth.
Hey, so glad you were born, Jesse.
Thank you.
Hey, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll do slices.
I could feel the detritus lifting, and I moved like I knew that I was free again. Then before thinking, I ventured out swimming across the sea. The current battles way down below me, drifting but holding on. I keep my head up to watch the show.
You're listening to Kiro Bonito. The song is Swimming. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Wallows with Remember When. Okay, it's time for slices. What do you have, Jesse?
Okay, because it's my birthday, I'm going to do a twofer.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, I wanted to bring one. Okay, this one I want to bring because it has a little substance, and I wanted to see. I want to see if anyone could guess this. Okay, so Saddleback Church just did like a comprehensive study to find out if offering an online alternative, like offering your services online, to see if it affects actual physical church attendance. So a lot of people, like when Judah Smith and launched like Church Home, the app, a lot of the criticism was, well, if you're giving people the ability to basically have the church experience online, is this going to affect people actually going to church? So to look at it, they actually looked at 176 churches that offer online churches, so that they had a large sample size. Around the table real quick, do you think that offering the online church affected physical church attendance?
My gut would be that the churches who are big enough to be able to afford to do that would be large churches that have large congregational attendance in person, and it probably isn't numerically impactful. That it's like overflow or remote people or people in other cities that are more watching than local people. That'd be my guess.
Yeah,
Eddie, what do you think?
I think it didn't negatively. I don't think it was negatively impactful at all, because I think most people don't go to church every week. So some people are just using it as an alternative to, just they can stay home and let the kids run around. But I also think a lot of people that are watching online were never going to show up in person in the first place. So they're just getting a brand new congregation, not subtracting from the current congregation.
Yep. Annie?
Yeah, that would be my guess. I feel like I have a little bit of an unfair point of view because I'm on the teaching team at a multi-site church, and one of the sites is an online campus.
Yeah.
So we have that at our church. And so it never feels like it has kept people from coming. It feels like it makes a way for people who can't come to go to church, because that community talks to each other a ton. They're like a very active.
Yeah. They chat during the sermon and stuff, don't they? They're like real chatty. There's huge pro cons to both in person and online.
Yeah, I would be very distracted. If people don't chat with me while I'm in church physically, why are you chatting to me now? I'm just trying to listen to the sermon. Leave me alone.
Well,
Stop
then
talking.
you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to see it, and you don't have to participate. But for people who want to have the community that comes with what would happen in the lobby, for many of us who go to a traditional church, they get that opportunity to kind of almost have a small group during the sermon and during church. So.
I chat regularly during the sermon when I'm just sitting there. And usually it's this to the person next to me: I don't think this story is actually in the Bible. I've never heard it. I think he's making this one up.
Bree and I have gotten in trouble many times chatting in church when we were in school together, talking in school. We'll just talk through the whole sermon, whatever.
Eddie, I have a question. When is the last time you've got in trouble for chatting in service? Please tell me it was recently.
Oh, it was under a year ago. The lady in front of us turned around and asked us to be quiet. And
do y'all not have whisper voices? What's the matter with you?
We do, but this lady was particularly sensitive. And then after you've been talking a lot, I don't remember what was going on in the sermon, but it was particularly chat worthy. So yeah, we talk way too much. And so it was like under a year ago.
That is so surprising, Eddie. I wouldn't imagine you a church talker. I wouldn't imagine
it's not like a thing I do, but if I feel like I got something to say, or Brienne does, I mean, we're pretty good friends. We just chat it up.
Do you talk at normal speaking volume?
Do you talk during movies?
A little louder. No, I won't talk during movies, but I really like movies.
Yeah. Oh no! No.
They're not boring.
Listen, I talk at full volume, but only if the pastor needs to know something like, he should not be wearing a polo tucked into jeans. I mean, I'll just throw that out there. No, but so Saddleback found, after this 179 churches, that actually of those that offer online, services, 60% saw growth in the physical church after they launched the online.
Really?
Yeah. And not only that, but they looked at, some of these people who lead these digital church services, and found that most of the people who were, quote unquote, like first time attenders, when they questioned them, there's something like 75% had actually watched a sermon online before attending the church.
Yeah, I met someone Sunday who came from out of town and watches all the time at online and drove down to go to church on Sunday. So,
I think it's a great way to sample, see what it's like. Oh, okay. Now, yes, I do want to go check it out, go attend.
Yeah.
I would. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. So that it seems a little counterintuitive, but it actually really helps church attendance. Okay. I got one more quick one. I want to play. This is a viral audio clip from WTOL Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, no. I know what this is.
Oh, Darren, what's your face?
It's so bad.
Chandler, can you cue up
This
a
is Scott's Tots level awkward.
This is
Oh no, I hate
Buckle
awkward.
Buckle in.
This is
Chandler,
bad.
can you please play the clip that has been going viral from WTOL Toledo?
Doesn't know
Good
this.
morning, TPS students. It is testing week, and it's time to slay all day.
Yeet. Stay woke, be
Oh,
on
my.
fleek, and get that Gucci breakfast.
Goals. Say
Love it.
goodbye, Felicia, to that testing stress. Weather's going to be turned, right, Chris?
Yes! The
What?
weather gonna be lit during testing week. A hundo key chance of success. You've got this, kids. Steve, how about that traffic? Are we looking
Better than
What?
We're talking
happening?
turn. FOMO won't be an issue. No traffic problems around any TPS schools to keep you from taking those tests. So get a good night's sleep, do your best. In fact, be extra, extra.
We here at WTOL are proud of you.
Good luck on
your
your
test,
test,
TPS students.
Okay, do you know how many people are atheists right now because their youth pastors talk like that? There's a generation of people who are deconstructing their faith, not because of theological opposition or intellectual sparring, but because their youth pastors talk like that. No, so
Do you think that John Oliver gets a text on his phone, just like immediately turn on WTOL? You've got to see this.
Toledo will burn tonight. Yeah. No, so this clip went viral, and the WTOL team basically took it off their Facebook page, and people were demanding an answer. Why is our well-respected Toledo local news team degrading themselves with this type of video? And they released a very long statement that said this was actually made for students in the state who are preparing for like the TPS test. I'm not in education, but I'm guess that's some sort of standardized test.
Yeah.
And here's what they said. TPS has 2 consecutive failing grades on the Ohio State report card. 800 TPS students were absent during the 2018 Ohio test.
Oh my gosh.
There are fears that a 3rd consecutive failing grade could lead to a state takeover of the district. So in their mind, they're doing a public service by doing this teen talk ad, where if I was a well-prepared student taking the TPS, which I don't even know what that is, but let's say I was going to march in there.
My guess is Toledo Public Schools is their standardized testing. They call it the TPS test or something like that. You know what I mean?
And I'm sure that most of the teens are watching the morning news on the way to school or as they get up in the morning.
If I know teens. Yeah. They're watching weather at the 9s before they,
100%.
Yeah. They how else would a teen know what it's like outside? It's not like, if only they don't have some sort of magic devices that puts
where else are they
information
going
at
to
their
get their
fingertips.
information? Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So they continue. The intent from the very beginning was to help TPS students take the test to get the district the funding it needs. This was one of several messages provided to area leaders and media outlets meant to show support and encouragement. I hope it did the opposite. If I was getting ready for that TPS test and I saw that, I would snap my pencil in half and be like, nope, not taking it. Not taking it after. Yeah, I'm out. If these are the people that want me to take it, I don't trust one of them. So, yeah, it seems like that would be ill-advised. But here's what was really disturbing about it. You don't even need to see the video to understand this. These people were very excited. These news anchors, you had the idea of like, this is going to kill. This is going to kill.
Youth pastor level excitement about being down with the lingo.
Oh, I mean, they certainly did rehearsals with that.
Nailed this. Oh, absolutely. They rehearsed it.
They were
like
going
all
around
afternoon.
and around.
Oh, yeah.
It's like when a youth pastor thinks up rap lyrics to like a random popular song and is like, oh man, like the
kids are gonna love this.
A revival's about to be sparked, ladies and gentlemen. I just figured out Bible lyrics to a Nelly song. So let's prepare the altars.
What was that terrible one that Relevant posted a couple years ago? Oh, the I like big books.
Yeah,
that guy.
Baby got book. Baby got books.
That's right. I mean, it was the worst.
No, I will say we posted one the other day of one that had gone horribly wrong, and it ended up being like every member of the church staff like got a verse in this rap, and it just went for like 15 minutes. It was really long. But I put, and I stand by this, Baby Got Book is the gold standard of Christian rap parodies. Chandler, can you real quick? I know I didn't prepare you this. Can we just play like 30 seconds of Baby Got Book?
It's his birthday.
The unacquainted. Yeah, it is my birthday. I would like
Normally we would just veto this, but come on. You only turn 11 and 40 once.
Oh my goodness. Becky, look at her Bible. It is so huge. She looks like one of those preacher guys' girlfriends. But who understands those preacher guys anyway?
Oh, no.
They only talk to her because she looks like Mother Teresa. Okay. I mean, but look at it. It's just huge.
Oh, no.
Gross.
Oh, no.
She just looks so...
Oh, yes.
Wait for it to drop.
Yes,
I
wait.
like big Bibles and I cannot lie. You Christian brothers can't deny that when a girl walks in with a KJV and a bookmark in Proverbs, you get stoked. Got a name engraved so you know this girl is saved. It looks like one of those large ones with plenty of space in the margins. Oh baby, I wanna read with ya, cause your Bible's got pictures. My minister tried to console me, but that book you got makes me so holy. Oh mamma mia.
Oh no!
Do you know how many people? Do you know how many?
Oh
man.
I mean,
It is absolutely.
Do you know how many people have deconverted to Christianity because of this song?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Sorry.
seminaries. People have just dropped out of seminary after hearing that.
But that song in particular, I'm saying the real lyrics in my head. It's like not good words. Like don't do that.
Me
It's-
so
but
holy.
But admittedly, it was better than the preacher who did the Drake stuff a month ago.
was incredible.
God's plan, because he didn't even try to change the lyrics. He's just shouting
that
God's
one,
plan.
that one was my actual favorite because it was just so terribly executed. At least this one, the Bible one, had a little bit of like, okay, well, they're trying. It's pretty well done, pretty poorly well done. But the Drake one was really spectacular. Annie, have you heard that one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because the
We
guy's
did it
just
on
shouting God's plan into the mic, and like
the best
to like tee up a sermon about God's plan. Like it didn't make any sense. And you could tell the keyboard player who was like playing the dun dun dun, you know, like the God's plan little beat thing. You could tell him, it's like, should I just keep going? Like, when is this gonna stop? Like, this is terrible, you know? Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, well, thank you. The Toledo team obviously didn't learn a lesson from all this, but you know, it's they should now, because I'm sure testing scores are dropping across the state. And I think Betsy DeVos, if you're listening, we just need to go ahead and defund education initiatives in all of Ohio because of that.
Oh my God.
Oh, you know, she probably will. Don't say stuff like that.
She's like, wait, I can do that? That's a great idea.
All right. What do you have, Annie?
So you guys, this week I have gotten like lost in the internet hole of this, because this week the happiness report came out. It's a worldwide happiness report. Have y'all seen it?
Yes.
Everyone should Google and read it. It's like 128 pages. You don't want to read the whole thing, but it has got charts for days that are so interesting. And it's talking about the happiest countries and the least happy countries. And they did the report, the rankings based on things like income and freedom, your like intrinsic sense of trust in your country, your whether you have healthy lives, life expectancy, and all sorts of stuff like that. Do y'all know the happiest country in the world? Does anybody know?
I do,
Iceland?
because we reported this on Relevant Daily last week.
Oh, you already did it. No, it is Finland.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that
knew it was like
makes
a
sense.
Nordic country.
Yeah. So like the interesting thing, Jesse, is like of the top 7, 6 of them are Nordic countries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating to me.
So did they identify why Nordic countries are so much happier than it? Because the United States, for context, didn't even rank in like the top 10, right?
No, it's 19. It's dropped every year for the last couple of years.
So what makes people in Nordic countries so happy?
Do you know the answer, Cameron? What did y'all say on Relevant Daily?
It doesn't give an analysis. No, we didn't. Well,
the report, the report has a ton. I just haven't read all the way of that.
Well,
but I will tell you what, one of the things it said about,
I thought it just more like ranked under these categories, blah, blah, blah. And like it just ranked high. Did it and analyzed why They're happy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, the very last chapter of the report is an analysis on why the U.S. keeps dropping.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest reason that we keep dropping is how we consume media and how media changes what we have decided makes us happy.
Wow.
And it is one of my buddies that works here near my office was sitting in my office and we were reading it today, and he was reading pieces of it out loud and going like, I'm having like a crisis because I'm realizing that we as a country like are choosing through how we consume media, we are losing the ability to just be naturally happy with what we have. And the U.S. consumes at a higher rate of media than any other country.
So essentially, like you're saying that because of like comparison culture and media, we are constantly discontent. Like
yes.
I was watching a documentary this weekend on Netflix, like selfie culture, or selfie world, or something like that, or something selfie, and it was talking to preteens and teens about Instagram, and it was tragic. Some of the, anxiety and the comparison things, and even like sexual predatory behavior, boys to girls, that happen on Instagram, and it fundamentally makes them less happy, and it's like it's obvious. I mean, it makes sense. And two, in the Nordic countries, lots of fish and sweaters. So like,
so it's a very cod heavy culture, and cod just gets the endorphins going. You're talking to a guy who eats a tremendous amount.
But it's interesting because you would think it would be a country like they have very brutal winters there. Like it's not a place where the climate is very comfortable. I mean, I just think the whole thing is so interesting.
Yeah,
obviously, of all the countries, the lowest ranking is South Sudan. I mean, clearly, but the bottom of the list is very sad to read as well.
But I think of the Nordic culture. I mean, like Danish design and Scandinavian design is about minimalism and, kind of function and, beauty with less. Yeah. And there's like a contentment with simplicity and a desire for simplicity there. And I don't know. And obviously the outdoors is beautiful. And I don't know. Lots and lots of fish. I just keep coming back to that.
I wonder if there's any correlation between this study and like studies of like rise and fall of people of faith in certain countries. Like, I wonder if there's any like faith correlation between all this.
But what's interesting about that, I think that's an interesting point you make, Eddie. Because like especially for like Nordic countries and a lot of Western European countries, there has been a decline in traditional religious practices. Like that's like an observable trend, and not to like stereotype all of them, but in that part of the world, that's not uncommon for people to identify. Where you look at, even like the U.S. has become slightly less quote unquote religious, but it's still very, very religious. And you look at countries. So Annie, like for your example with South Sudan. So like countries on the bottom half like lack like the things on like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right?
That's
like
right.
If you don't have shelter, if you don't have food, if you don't have clean access to clean water, if those needs aren't met, that's gonna cause, obviously distress. But once those are met, it's different things that make people happy. And so like when you look at developed countries, it's what's funny is like, I think a lot of people have rightly have criticisms about America's approach to religion. And it's like, is it better to have like almost no unifying social religion, or to have one that's almost become counterfeit, where, a lot of people who represent the name of Christianity actually don't represent what Jesus taught? And is it just better to not have any social religion and to let everyone kind of be able to figure out on their own, or to have what's essentially been a counterfeit religion that's been, appropriated by people in power to maintain their power? I think that's where it kind of gets interesting.
I'm thinking too, I'm coming back to the lifestyle and the furniture. I mean, it's about contentment. It's about outdoors. It's a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
They eat healthier. I mean, again, I come back to fish. I'm not kidding about that. I mean, when I think of the Nordic countries, I think of like simplicity, design, and health. That's what I think of.
That is very interesting, Annie, about that.
Yeah, the whole report. I think it's where,
online.
Honestly, if you you can just Google it and look it up, but it's really long, but it is a really interesting take and even seeing the countries between the Nordic ones and the US and going like, wait, like everybody, so the UK ranks higher than us. Like there's just a lot of interesting, like Canada's significantly higher. I mean, it's just interesting to see who's around us, who's right above us, who's right below us. And what am I doing in my life it just had me thinking today, like, would I have said that we're the 19th happiest country? And what am I doing to make sure I'm not sucked into social media determines my happiness kind of world?
Well, I think you probably have to separate the developed nations from the, like you were talking, Jesse, about like the ones at the bottom of the list, because those are like, okay, survival, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, let's talk about the developed nations. It's like the ones that are more content are the happier ones, and the ones that are more like me centered, entertain me. I want to be rich. I want to, like are discontent, and like those ones are less happy, which is interesting. And media obsessed and image obsessed, they're less happy,
That being said, if I find a kid from Iceland that's playing Call of Duty, I'll smoke that kid all day long. They're terrible at video games. And so while it might be nice to be happier, they're not very good.
And I will not rest until I beat him. I will be miserable. Yeah. No, but I think
I get on Nordic servers just in order to smoke those 12-year-olds. That's amazing.
but it is interesting. It is. Yeah, they're so laid back. It's almost like they're putting no effort.
They apologize. I'm so sorry.
It's almost like they have no emotional investment at all in this pointless video game.
Could have
I
been
have no idea what their problem is. Like it's almost like this game is going to end. They're going to go on with their lives and be totally.
And there's
content,
nobody
happy.
over 20. It's almost like the adults grow up and are just okay.
It's
searching for something.
What a weird place. No, but it is interesting, Cameron. Like you were saying, like America to an extent, since I don't know, for the last like 30-ish years, 40-ish years. The American dream has really evolved from, have a house and a job that can provide and, kind of to being fabulously wealthy. Like, people are like, well, the Kardashians have the American dream, like not the Cleaver family or whatever. Like the way people think about having enough seems like at least the cultural perception would be. It seems like that's gotten it's gotten pretty out of control to what it was back in like, the 50s or 60s when the sizes of the average house was a third of what it is now.
Even in the most recent years, as we've been plummeting, it's been the prevalence of social media where it's like before it was like Entertainment Tonight would kind of like, or the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, I'd get glimpses into this other world that I don't have access to. It was still relegated to a small part of my awareness in my daily life. But now with social media and I'm following people who, not even rich people, but they're more beautiful or they're happier or they're traveling more or they, whatever it is, the things that you aspire to, and you are continually confronted with, I don't have what they have. Even if it's just your friends at church.
Right.
Because they're posting the highlight reel, So it's like, your complete awareness is if I'm feeling lonely this weekend or I'm bored this weekend and I go on social media and I'm seeing all my friends like, at theme parks or at the beach or whatever, it's like you feel left out and now you're sad. Whereas a nice weekend of rest could have been the perfect thing for you. You know what I mean? But now you're like FOMO. And I don't know.
Man, when I had that 10 days off, when I had that bed rest 2 weeks ago, one of the things was I had to delete socials off my phone and just kind of be off the computer. And I did not hate it. I mean, I love Instagram. I think it's very fun and I love doing it and who I get to talk to on there. But man, there was something really simple and good. And I have a lot of friends who are leaving Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and are just going like, I don't do any of that anymore. Yeah. And so then I have to like text them and be like, hey, will you send me pictures of your kids? Because I don't ever see your kids because I don't see them on social media.
Yeah,
I feel like we're going to need to course, like I think American society will need to like course correct a little, like the pendulum swings really far. And then, I guess for some people, they need to go completely detox, teetotaling. But that's not the rhythm that most people will embrace. But I mean, like the Bible talks about, weekly Sabbath and margin. And I'm wondering even in our digital lives, if like, they have, or just even with health and nutrition, it's like meatless Monday. It's like, then you don't need to go vegan, but just eat a little less meat and like just building that into our normal rhythm. And like, I wonder if there's a digital detox version of that where it's like, you kind of go offline 1 week a month or, 2 days a week or something like that, just kind of making it less of the
What is it that Andy Crouch's book says? He has a book called Tech Wise Family. Have you read it, Eddie?
Yeah.
I feel like you have.
Yeah,
What does he say? Take 1 week, 1 day a week, 1 week a year, something like that?
Yep. Yeah. To go. But also like nightly, they put all devices in a little box, and it's like device free and device free dinners and stuff like that. And that's to me, the larger point is just it's in addition to in addition to what Cameron was saying about the pendulum just kind of shifting a little bit, it's just there's a full cultural kind of shift that has to happen, because I think that the difference in those countries and our country is there's just you don't feel like you're missing anything. You don't feel like you're still able to sell products or do business or exist in life. Like at this point, I don't know if I could get off of all social media and contact half of my friends or, share that I'm on a podcast. Like, how else do you exist without these things? And I think there's just like the basic, I look forward to the time when there's just the next thing that comes out that is able to replace, Facebook Messenger as the necessity that it is. I think that'll be a helpful piece to it as well. I hope we demand it.
Yeah. How are my friends in Scandinavia supposed to know that me and Bjorn went cod fishing today if I can't brag to them?
If I can't brag to them.
If I can't make them jealous of the buckets of cod that we
look at all the cod that you don't have. Yeah. All right, Eddie, what do you have?
Well, I want to close up our little slice time with sort of a feel-good story, but also it answers a very important question that I think maybe we've spoken about before. So a Kansas State University student, Cameron Kroger, Kroger's a grocery store, but Cameron Kroger was at a Kansas State game, and he won one of those, those 3-point contests that they do, that if you're not bored, if you're not going up to the Mercedes Lounge to get some snackies, that you're sitting there and you're watching this thing. And,
which I love those. I love the competitions. Frisbee dog, quick change. Love it all, but nothing's better than watching someone huck a... I like it when they're horrible, though. And you're like, this is humiliating.
It's either astonishing and they won $1 million with a full court, right? Or something. Right. Or they're just throwing just something beyond a brick, whatever the next level is after a brick. Just some sort of terrible thing.
Yeah, it looks like this person has never actually touched a basketball before, and they're for some reason decided to compete the competition with their offhand. Like it doesn't even appear that you've watched a basketball game, but for some reason you're attempting this left-handed. That's how those are my favorite.
So this kid Cameron wins this 3-point contest at Kansas State, at a Kansas State basketball game. And I mean, this is big basketball program. So big arena, he wins this thing and he gets Qdoba for life. Okay. No, sorry. Qdoba for a year. Qdoba for a year. Now there's 2 questions in this before I continue. One, could you handle Qdoba for a year?
You would die. You would absolutely.
No way, 100%. I could do it for sure.
You could?
Yeah. Free. I mean, you don't have to pay for your grocery or any kind of food for a year. And
have you had Qdoba?
Yeah. I love their rice.
Okay, but here's the thing with Qdoba that's interesting. When they say you get Qdoba for a year, you know what it actually ends up being? It's 52 free entrees.
52. That's how it is. Yeah.
Which I've always thought, oh my gosh, twice a day they're going to Chick-fil-A. Twice a day they're going to Qdoba. This is incredible. It's actually but 52 a meal a week. Who cares?
I listen. I put a lot of garbage into my body all the time.
An incredible amount.
I would be very nervous to eat Qdoba once a week for a year.
Are you serious?
My problem is, for some reason, everything in their little slop trays. You know what I'm talking about? Like you walk up there in the line, you're like, oh, a little this, a little that. It's all very runny for some reason. Everything has been
including
slightly
lettuce.
Everything has been slightly liquefied at Qdoba. Like I don't try. Like did half of the beans were just smashed into liquid? Like why is there juice in the chicken? You know, like it's all a little runny, too runny for me. Like as soon as they wrap it in a tortilla, you're like, okay, the tortilla is falling apart because it's soaking wet. It looks like they mopped up some slop back there with this tortilla. I would not trust it, Eddie.
Well, that was interesting.
It's not that bad.
I had a hard time thinking. I mean, I could maybe I can't think of a food I could do for a whole year, but once a week, okay, fine. Qdoba would be okay. So the problem is this kid, he wins this thing. Why he enters it in the first place is beyond me, because he doesn't like the prize, because he doesn't like Mexican food. And so this kid is awesome that he goes down and he wins. And so what he ends up doing, which I thought was the feel good part of this, he ends up tweeting, which was great. He tweets, I'm giving all my meals to a homeless shelter. So this homeless shelter got 52 free meals, and then Qdoba heard about it and they doubled it and gave a bunch of free meals. And then the school heard about it and they gave a bunch of free meals. And this kid ended up.
And then the homeless heard about it and they're like, no thanks.
You know what? We're just okay.
They're like, we're good with the soup and stuff. Like,
yeah, it was okay.
It's like the Muffin Top episode of Seinfeld.
So he wanted it for a year. He donated to a homeless shelter. I thought that was a really cool end to the story.
It's really cool.
Like, this is kind of runny. I got to be honest with you. These beans, I don't know what you did to them, but
but no thanks.
It's like bean soup that you dumped on here. Yeah.
Anyhow, big ups to Cameron.
I can't believe you're such a Qdoba hater. I did not know this about you, Jess.
I love Mexican food too. It's just it's just very runny. That's all I'm saying. It's everything's soupy, and there's no need for that.
All right, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Nate Bargatze joins us. You're listening to Munya. The song is Benjamin. Well, today's episode is also brought to you by Samaritan Ministries. It's the time of year that people start planning vacations and going outside more. That also means wherever you go, whatever you're doing, everyone wants the comfort of knowing help is there if something goes wrong. If your current health care option has gotten out of hand with crazy prices and difficult network restrictions, why not ditch it for actual health care with Samaritan Ministries, a growing community of Christians that send financial gifts and pray for one another throughout medical needs. In this way, Samaritan members care for the whole person, physically, spiritually, and financially. Plus, there's no restrictions at Samaritan Ministries as to when you can join or even which doctors you can see after you join. If you'd like to learn more about how you can be part of this ministry helping each other with health care, visit SamaritanMinistries.org/relevant. Well, Nate Bargatze is a comedian known for his regular appearances on The Tonight Show and Conan, his Comedy Central special, and his new hour-long Netflix special, The Tennessee Kid. He's also drawn acclaim from the likes of Mark Maron and Jim Gaffigan as one of the most promising names in comedy. Jesse recently spoke to Nate about his brand new special, also about growing up in the church, his faith, and what's next. Jesse, tell us about it.
So happy about this, Jesse.
Yeah, so I was super excited to talk to Nate, and it does seem like he had about a year and a half ago this half-hour special, The Comedians on Netflix, and it kind of blew up. And so before that, he had that commercial where he's like on a college game day commercial, and he still do the Tonight Show, but it didn't seem like people like knew his material until that first half hour. So I wanted to ask him what was that like, almost becoming not an overnight success, but having Netflix really kind of help his career. Here's what he said.
The last one was, even though it just being a half hour, it just had such a great response. And I could tell that, when you go do shows, like everybody's watched it. So it was almost like kind of the first time where, usually when I would go up, people know you from just randomly, either, from you guys or Tonight Show or whatever. They know you from a bunch of my other specials. And but the Netflix was the first where it was an overly like, oh, these people know me from Netflix. So I wanted this special that just came out to be good, and I want it to be as good as that. You don't want it to be a letdown. So hopefully it will be. And if it's not, I'm sure Twitter will tell me.
I also like how he lumped us. People know me from you. The Tonight Show.
Or The Tonight Show.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Nate. He knew who he was talking to.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So I also wanted to ask, Pete, Crashing on HBO just ended a few weeks ago, and I knew that, such a great show. And I knew that him, Nate grew up in the church. He's a Christian. And I knew that he's been friends with Pete since they were both started in comedy together. So I wanted to get his thoughts on Crashing and kind of Pete's trajectory and his own story. And what he told me was really interesting, that in some of the scenes that are in Crashing, Nate was actually there in real life. Here's what he said.
Oh, wow.
Well, I started with Pete at that comedy club. So Pete got me barking at Boston Comedy Club. we were in Chicago together, and then he moved to New York about, maybe 6 months before I did. So when I came to New York, Pete was like, I'll get you at this. He was handing out flyers at that club, and he was like, I can get you in there too. And so I started handing out flyers with Pete. And so it was neat to see just, Pete got to make the show that every comic wants to make, just about how they started. And it was interesting to see it just because I was, with him during all this. And then Pete was like, I remember Pete was a Christian. And when I first moved to Chicago, that was the first time I ever moved where, like, in Tennessee, like, everybody's a Christian. It's not, you look outside in a car and you're like, all these people go to church. Like, it's like just what you do. You don't meet people that don't. So Chicago was the first time I ever met people that were like, either weren't religious or didn't believe in God, or just like, where I was like blown away. You're like, what? Like, so, it was great to see, and then Pete was, me and him bonded over that too, just because we were in a world of comics that, are not. And, so it was awesome to see, his show. And he was completely very honest about it. And I'm always a fan of that. I'm a fan of just like, honesty and, seeing what it is. And, and he asks questions and wonders, and, it's good.
Well, that kind of led me to think about Nate's career compared to Pete's, because, especially finding out that they were in this together. And if you've seen Crashing, you've seen, that's an autobiographical show where Pete early on maintains his sort of like devout faith and his outlook before he starts kind of sampling other ideas and other, makes other kind of choices about, his lifestyle and his own personal behavior. And so I wanted to ask Nate, being around that culture where for the first time he's around people who aren't Christians, and he has this one example of Pete who kind of goes one way, which is to start questioning things and kind of move away from his faith. Why did Nate decide to stick with it? And here's what he had to say.
No one grew up, or a lot of people that I was around weren't Christians, or, even grew up in the church or anything. And so, but sometimes guys can go away from that, and it made me go like more in it, like, cause I just thought like, why do you think you're right? Like, you just think, they're like, that's dumb. And you're like, well, who are you? I don't even know you. Like, like not Pete, but just like other people you'd meet that would just, question like what you believe in. And you're like, none of them know either. Like, so, sometimes you go away from it. Sometimes you dive in, and there's guys I know that dive in and they're like, oh yeah, they're opened up to a whole new world. And, I'm just like kind of the opposite. Like, I just kind of like, I've always said, I always trust my parents more than I trust anybody else I ever met.
Where it's clear Pete in the show didn't trust his parents more than anyone he ever met. But it was cool to hear Nate's perspective, because he's still in that world. He still has this big special. He might have a TV show on ABC with Gerard Carmichael. He's right there knocking on the door of really kind of potentially blowing up. But he also had a little bit of like Christian gallows humor when it came to people confronting him about his faith. Chandler, why don't you go ahead and play the next clip where he talks about what he does when people get combative with him about faith.
It's hard just because people are always like questioning everything. Like, why do you believe, like, why do you know? And so you feel like there's a lot of like, some confrontation and, and some of it. So, but, it's, luckily, a lot of it is all like how you're raised. And, I never liked being confrontated. I don't want to argue with people about stuff. So I just kind of, sometimes you just kind of keep quiet. And like, sometimes you will get in arguments, and then, you do what you do. And look, they're the ones going to hell, so it doesn't really matter.
I love it because, like, in the interview, he is deadpan. He's as deadpan as he is, like, in on his comedy special. And so I want one more quick clip. I appreciate this because I feel like even if you're not in comedy, you can, kind of relate because, this is like a big moment for him. And I wanted to know, does he feel like he's arrived? And does that is he continuing to chase something, or can he kind of enjoy the sort of moment he's having? And I appreciate what he said. Here, Chandler, if you want to play this last clip.
I think you're still like chasing the feeling of that. Like, not that, like, I always had check marks where at first, when you first start, you make zero money, then you make like $3,000 a year, like in comedy. And then, so then you get to like 10 or 20, I feel like the first is like when you make like what I would make at Applebee's. Like, where like I was like, all right, I'm at least have like I'm making whatever job I would have, like with no education. Like, so you just have these little check marks. And then I remember, with being clean, like you get to that point where you're like, all right, I could be doing corporate. Like worst case scenario, I can perform on cruise ships and do corporates and make a living at this. Like, so you just always have these little check marks. Obviously the end goal is to, be Gaffigan and Seinfeld, all that. So you have all these little check marks. I mean, I feel very fortunate in my career. I'm blessed. Like, I feel confident in it. Like, but you're still chasing. You still want to get, like, we're starting to do some theaters now. I mean, you still want to be this big comic that can be playing these big places and selling them out and have people come out to see you. So you still always have something that you're chasing. And I think you have to have that, or otherwise once you're done chasing, they always talk about it in athletes, like, where they make up stuff, they make up beefs with other players for no reason. Michael Jordan, Tiger, like all these big athletes, like, so it's like, you got to have these like goals that you're like, well, I want to be this, at the high. And I think you just keep chasing it until those goals until you're like, now I don't know what else to do. But I mean, I am, I'm not delusional. I'm very happy where I'm at.
Yeah, I thought that's, he doesn't seem like, his demeanor doesn't seem like he's a person that's like overly ambitious. Like he's kind of like, his brand is kind of being like a lazy slacker. But, even for someone like him, like balancing the idea of what does it mean to be content and feeling like blessed and like enjoying the moment and also being like, if I don't set more goals, like, and I go, Cameron, even that's something we talk about all the time internally. It's like, once we put a good magazine out, it's like, hey, but how are we going to make the next one even better? So I thought it was interesting, even someone like in that field looking at, I want to enjoy this moment, but not get too content. But he was a great dude to talk about. And he promised next time he's in town, he's going to come back by Relevant. Like I said, he credits us and The Tonight Show with his success. So I gave him an open door. So.
He's honestly unbiased. He's one of the funniest comedians. He does work clean. He's somebody your parents will enjoy. You'll love him. If you haven't checked out Nate Bargatze's special on Netflix, go check it out now. It's called The Tennessee Kid. He is gonna be one of the next big names in comedy. Mark my words. I hope he gets a TV show.
Yeah, and he just seems like a good dude, right? Like, I mean, just all of our interactions with him. He's just a sweet man.
Yeah. Well, there's Nate Bargatze. All right, stay tuned. Up next, your feedback.
I can't get no better, can't get no much better. I feel like the king and my queen is Coretta. I've been made a living, I'm never gonna give in. I'm just way too driven, that's why I've been thinking.
Youth ministry is an interesting place to be. All the hormones, the gross games, the strained pop culture sermon illustrations for students, pastors, and volunteers alike. In Insights in Between, a ministry student's perspective on youth ministry, Jacob Wynn combines his past experiences as a youth member with his current experience as a volunteer and his ongoing ministry studies. In the book, he highlights the importance of showing Christ-like compassion to our youth, from discussing the importance of embracing student eccentricities, goodness knows they have those, to a critique of fire and brimstone teaching. Insights in Between points toward a form of youth ministry that is hallmarked by love and compassion. If you want to learn more about the importance of caring for the youth in our churches and the need for compassionate youth ministries, pick up a copy today of Insights in Between by Jacob Wynn, now available on Amazon.
Switch your flow, feel the pain with the game. What you trying to say though? Novocaine to the brain. I can't feel nothing no more in my lane. Can't refrain from letting these people know.
You're listening to Logic. The song is Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Okay, it's time for your feedback. Last week, we asked you, what celebrities would you most like to and hate to be stuck next to on a long bus ride? We got talking about how it became a thing on social media that Keanu Reeves was part of a flight that had to take an emergency landing, and then they had to bus everybody for 2 hours to LA, and then all the people were documenting Keanu Reeves in real life on a bus, and it got us thinking, if we were trapped on a bus with various celebrities, who would we want to be trapped with, and who would we at least want to be trapped with? So you guys hit us up. You hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, and you also posted on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Here's a few of our favorites.
Well, I have to disagree with Whitney. She said, how do you not immediately choose Jimmy Fallon to be on the bus?
Oh, no.
I would be like, how do you choose him? Because like 45 minutes in,
you wouldn't.
45 minutes in, I'd be like, hey, Jimmy, how about we play the quiet game for the next you ever played that on a long car ride? Just, so you can be the most quiet? Because, listen, man, you came in, you're coming in really hot, and I don't feel like you're cooling down at all. And like, we're stuck in a van together. There's no commercial breaks here. If you write one more freaking thank you note to a person at a stoplight, I'm jumping out of the moving van.
I'm with
Jimmy
Whitney.
Fallon.
I love Jimmy Fallon. I would love that.
He'd be top 5 people I'd want to bump into at the airport and have a 30-second, 1-minute conversation with.
Yeah.
But 2 hours next to him on a bus would be a little tough.
Kara said her most is Leonardo DiCaprio. Were y'all surprised by that? Who thinks?
I don't feel like there's any personality there, but I wonder if there's alternate intentions.
Well, no.
Yeah,
well, either way,
he is wearing a
Bachelor.
shirt.
Yeah.
I just thought, I wonder if she knows something I don't know about what it would be like to sit by Leonardo DiCaprio on a bus for a couple
just
hours.
hoping-
I know he's attractive. I'll
hoping
stand
for
by
a
that.
love
but
connection.
would he be fun to talk to?
No. She just wanted a love connection. That's all she's wanted.
But
I can't blame her.
But I don't
Shoot your
understand.
shot.
But she also said that one of her leads was Nicolas Cage, which I feel like that would be the most mind-blowing van ride of all time. Like, you don't know what kind of state Nick Cage is in. Like, you don't know if he's frazzled. He's likely been up for like 5 days straight. He doesn't know how he ended up on the van. He doesn't know where the van is going, and he doesn't care. Like, he's just in the moment, man.
You know who would be tough? Probably bottom of the barrel for me would be Gary Busey. For the same reason.
Oh, great call, Cameron.
It'd be like,
yeah.
I would be nervous for the safety of everyone in that van.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that he would just jump across the seat and grab the steering wheel at any moment. And you know
who'd be fun? Who would make it memorable for everyone? Bill Murray.
Yeah, that's what Joshua said. Joshua said Bill Murray would be the celebrity I would like to be on a bus with. Stories and laughs.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think he'd be fun.
Plus,
too.
I feel like there would be periods of him very comfortably sitting silently. So like if you're on a 12-hour ride, he'd do an hour without having to be on. And then, he'd come back to life when you need him to do his thing, and then he'd be quiet again.
Yeah.
When he thought of something.
Right.
He wouldn't just be trying to think of something to talk. When he thought of something, he'd be funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would tell the best stories. He would probably have the best stories.
Yeah.
You'd have to pull it
I'd
out
ride
of
in a
him.
bus with Nate Bargatze. I think he sounds like a good person to be around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wes said, listening to this week's Relevant Podcast with Brady, mark him number 1 on the bro crush list now. So that's what Wes said.
I was assuming he meant for like the van, but the bro crush. I mean,
I'm just reading it word for word. I don't know what he meant,
Maybe he
but we
needs
can
it
all.
in life.
Yeah, well,
good on you, Wes.
he dethroned Leonardo DiCaprio for Wes.
Love wins.
One I think just went on Voices for who Juan didn't want to sit next to because he said Spielberg, Josh Whedon, or Lin-Manuel Miranda for long conversations with great. Like he's picturing like a getting coffee in cars with comedians or whatever. Like you're just sitting there, chatting about the creative process or something.
Or like Charlie Rose or he's thinking,
But he said the nightmare would be Fran the nanny Drescher. I have nothing against Fran Drescher, except for she was like, ha, 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 ha. If she was doing that cackle, I would see that. She also put Bill Maher in there. Don't think I would enjoy sitting with Bill Maher. And the controversial film director Lars von Trier. Yeah, I don't. But
there you go. Well, there's a lot more where that came from. Go check them out at Relevant Podcast on Twitter. Okay, it's time for this week's
Editorial question of the week.
Okay, we're going to ask you one of the ones we asked Jesse. If money were no object, what kind of birthday party would you have? If money were no object, what kind of birthday party would you have? In honor of our very own Jesse Carey's 36th birthday today, we are asking a birthday question. So hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, or you can post your longer ones because I assume they're going to be very ornate on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Well, many thanks to Nate Bargatze for joining us. Follow him on Twitter at Nate Bargatze. That's Bargatze. And make sure next time you're Netflix and chilling to check out The Tennessee Kid. It's out now. It's a great hour-long comedy special.
I don't know.
Yes, I said that.
I mean,
I don't know that you know what.
Literally, if you're chilling out watching Netflix, you should put on that comedy
I just wanted to
special.
separate myself from the comment. You can do whatever you need to do. It's your show.
I don't get it. Netflix.
I just wanted to walk away.
Netflix.
Well, Jesse, I'll text you and tell you what's going on. This is a big boy talk.
Listen, I'm about to Google this and see and figure it out. Oh my goodness!
That phone call is your accountability partner.
Yeah.
Hey, many thanks to Samaritan Ministries for making the episode possible. If you'd like to learn more about how you can be a part of their ministry, helping each other with health care, visit SamaritanMinistries.org/relevant. Also, thanks to Prison Fellowship for sponsoring the episode. You can learn more about how you can help at prisonfellowship.org/second chances. Go do it. It's awesome. Hey, right now, if you want to get Relevant Magazine, we're doing a special deal for Relevant Podcast listeners. You can get your first 6 months of Relevant for only $6 when you subscribe at relevantmagazine.com/podfan. Go do it. We have a great issue that's about to go to the printer. Our May issue of Relevant is stacked. It is stacked. You won't want to miss it. Go get it. $6 for 6 months. All right. On that note, we will wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
Chandler Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Eddie Kaufholz.
And I'm Annie F. Downs.
We will see you on Friday. Have a great week, everyone.
Happy birthday, Jesse.
Thanks, guys.
Birthday, man.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
It's me flying over the top of a jet ski while ramming David Copperfield, and people just go put roses up there.
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.